Yo, what's good, everyone? Sideshow MMA here, and UFC 313 just went down last night, and today we'll be breaking down the entire card, talking about the fights and what happened. So, yeah, let's get right into it. First fight, Jorgen Santos versus Ozzy Diaz. I thought Jorgen Santos did enough to win the fight in the moment. I thought he won rounds 1 and 2. I thought he lost round 3. Thought he could have got the decision, you know, outstruck him in round 1. The commentary was biased as fuck. Rogan and DC were genuinely rooting against Santos in that fight. Definitely. It was like obvious. Like there were certain points where it was just obvious. But I will say Ozzy Diaz did look good. He was getting the jab going. Santos definitely gassed in round 3. But I thought he did enough to win the fight. Like I said, I don't want to say robbery because it was a close fight. But regardless, it was a solid fight, and I personally thought Santos did enough to get the first 2 rounds and win the fight. But it is what it is. Judging was a little questionable at times, especially in this next one. Myron Santos versus Francis Marshall. Judging was bad. Santos lost the fight. Myron Santos lost the fight. It was not even close. I don't know what the judges were looking at, really. I don't know what the fuck happened on the scorecards. I thought it was pretty obvious. I think everyone was, in agreement that Myron Santos lost the fight to Francis Marshall. I feel bad for Marshall because he was an underdog coming into it. He had a great performance. And, yeah, I don't know. I figured it would be a much closer fight than the round suggested going into the fight, for sure. And, yeah, Santos just disappointed me. Another fun prospect that, has some hype, just another shitty performance from like these guys, just these fun prospects that we hype up. Just this happens over and over again. Like who's going to be the next one? It's just disappointing. He wasn't able to do much in the fight. He got dropped in round 1. Marshall dropped him pretty good. He held onto a single leg and survived. But just a shitty performance from Santos. Francis Marshall actually impressed me a ton. It was a bit of a slower fight, but I think Marshall did enough to win the fight. But yeah, I don't know. It was a robbery in my opinion. I couldn't believe it. But yeah, moving up the card. Carlos Leal versus Alex Morono. What the fuck did you expect to happen? Morono, he did a good job controlling distance early. I'll give him that. Leal was pressuring him from the start. You could tell he was just trying to get him out of there. Eventually he did get to Morono. Morono was keeping him at bay for a little. He did get to him though. Just started beating the shit out of him against the cage. Fucking beating his ass, dude. There was a moment actually against the cage where Morono was just swinging back hard as fuck. And I was wondering, like, shit, if Leal gets caught by one of these shots, like, what happens? But he never did. Leal just beat the shit out of him. Keith Peterson told Morono to fight back, and he's just there doing the Izzy against the cage, so the fight was stopped. Good stoppage from Keith, and a good finish from Leal. Definitely on roids. He also shouted out all the women in the world at the end of the fight, so interesting stuff. Yeah. All right, moving up the card, Bruno Ferreira versus Armin Petrosyan. Ferreira almost took Petrosyan's head clean off his shoulders in round 1. Fucking mean overhand he landed. I thought Petrosyan would win this fight. I got this one wrong. I thought Petrosyan, I thought Ferreira gassed in round 1 against Dustin Stoltzfus, so I just thought Petrosyan would take over as the fight went on. Yeah, he blatantly lied about a low blow. And when Petrosyan actually did hit him, both the low blows combined made Mark Smith take a point, which I'm all for refs taking points, but come on. There was one legit foul. The first one, he blatantly lied. Anyway, I thought Petrosyan lost round 1 because of the big shot from Ferreira in the first few seconds of the fight. So, yeah, he did get rocked by that big shot, and that was a 10-8 round because Mark Smith took a point. The commentary would have you believe that Armin Petrosyan won that round, and it was a 9-9 round. I don't understand why. Commentary was awful that night. Yeah, but round 2, Ferreira looked really good. Started telegraphing his takedowns a bit. There were moments where he was literally running at Petrosyan with his head down and his arms out. Still got the takedowns, though. And yeah, he was able to get him down, got an armbar finish. Petrosyan tapped super quick. Didn't even try and fight it, but it was in super deep, so... Yeah, good fight, good win from Bruno Ferreira. But moving up the card, Josh Van versus Ray Tasoria. Ray Tasoria, you are a coward. You are a fucking coward, dude. What a shit way of fighting. Genuinely. You have no ability whatsoever to do damage to an opponent, dude. Embarrassing performance from someone that is a so-called fighter. You're a so-called fighter, dude. You fucking suck, dude. Genuinely. What a shitty performance. Teixeira genuinely could not take Josh Van down to save his life. He was marabbing, and not even, dude. Marab is actually a little exciting when he's shooting 30 takedowns. Maybe he'll strike a little bit. Maybe he'll take you down, do some damage. This dude is just fucking. He failed. He was like 4 for 20 on takedowns. Like, what a bitch, dude. All he was trying to do was avoid the fight, trying to stall. He was avoiding the fight. He was running away from Josh Van on the feet. Even when Teixeira would get him down, he didn't try and land damage, just trying to hold, just trying to stall, dude. What a fucking bitch, dude. He lied about a low blow in round 3, and Van punished him for it. Van came right at him, started landing good shots. After the replay, he came forward, just started fucking him up. Van did have a hard time getting his offense going, but also, what do you expect when this fucking weirdo is grabbing a hold of him every second, just failing takedowns every chance he got? The front kick up the middle was money for Josh Van, and he actually hurt him with that in round 3, and which made Teixeira fake the low blow. I hope Teixeira gets cut and banished from the sport. He should never be competing in MMA ever again. What a bitch, dude. Mauricio Ruffy versus Bobby Green. What a finish from Mauricio Ruffy. What a finish, dude. Just patiently waiting for the kill shot, essentially stalking his prey. Bobby tried to get some offense going a little, couldn't really get in range, honestly. Ruffy caught him with a flush right, which made Bobby's nose bleed. Then a minute later, threw a perfect spinning wheel kick that put Bobby Green out cold. One of the best KOs I've ever seen. Definitely KO of the year. Disgusting from Ruffy, dude. I can definitely see him going far in the division. But I do want to see more from him, because this doesn't tell us anything we don't know about him. We know he's a shot selector. We know he's a fucking killer. A lot of people saw this coming, including myself. He did call out Beneil. I think they should make that fight. It'll be fun. Maybe we'll see. I don't know, dude. Beneil's probably just another guy that gets slept by him. I think he's gonna. I don't know. I think he's gonna work his way up the rankings pretty quickly. Hopefully he gets like a challenge up the way. But I don't. These favorable matchups, they are what they are. Like, Bobby Green's taken a lot of damage recently. What did you expect? This guy's gonna fucking KO Bobby Green. Beneil Dariush probably does the same thing. So, I want to see him get like a Gaethje maybe up the way, something like that, like where he can be tested by another striker, something like that. I don't know. I do really like Mauricio Ruffy, and I think he'll go far, but I do want to see him get tested moving forward. Anyway, moving up the card, Amanda Lemos versus Yasmin Lucindo. Lemos won, killed the momentum of the card. Moving up the card, Jalen Turner versus Ignacio Bahamondes. Ignacio and Turner got into it immediately. Started throwing heat at each other off rip. Ignacio tried to take Turner down, got reversed, and it wasn't looking good. Turner was landing good shots from the top, but as he was doing that, Bahamondes started landing good ground elbows from bottom too. So yeah, that was something that was working for him from the bottom. But yeah, as the fight goes on, he latches up a triangle super deep. Turner taps quickly, really doesn't try and fight it. Ignacio's super good. I can see him going far in the division. They're both look super weird. That was a really weird fight to watch. They're 6'3", 155ers. They look fucking crazy. But yeah, Turner's fate is unknown. We'll see what happens. They probably feed him to an up-and-comer. Like maybe Ruffy. Maybe they feed Turner to an up-and-comer. I want to see him fight contend. Oh, no. Jalen Turner retired. Yeah, Jalen Turner retired, so if he did, whatever, dude. Who cares? Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev. What a fight, dude. I just want to say, when Gaethje walked out, he had a beanie covering his fucking eyes, dude. So that was interesting. But yeah, speaking of the fight, though, a good round 1 from Fiziev. I didn't expect him to come out there and grapple. I don't think Gaethje did either. Caught me off guard, probably caught Gaethje a little off guard. There was an instance where he literally was sitting on Gaethje's head in an inverted triangle, which was pretty funny. The knees and the clinch were money for Fiziev in round 1. Gaethje landed good shots towards the end of the round, but Fiziev won the round. He won round 1 for sure. Round 2, Gaethje started to find his shots a bit more, finding his range. The overhand right on the break of the clinch was money for Gaethje. And in the clinch, he dropped Fiziev with an uppercut bad. I thought Fiziev was out. I thought Gaethje probably could have did more to finish the fight in that instance, but it is what it is. Round 3, Fiziev started out hot with body kicks. landing them at a good percentage. I think he hurt his toe on one, but still threw it regardless. But Gaethje did just take over as the fight went on. Busted up Fiziev, just showed him levels. The high kicks from Gaethje were really nice. I really like that Gaethje's like implementing that into his game more often. Gaethje's just a dog, dude. He had a you must have forgot type performance. It was refreshing to see. Definitely fight of the night, and yeah, they put on a show. Fiziev on short notice was impressive though. He definitely impressed me, but man, Gaethje he showed up. He really did. Moving up the card though, Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. All right, so the fight starts off slow as I expected. I predicted the first round pretty perfectly. I said Pereira would tap at the low kicks, which is exactly what he did. It would just be both the guys really trying to find their range, which it was. You know, Pereira immediately started chopping Ank's leg, which I expected, but Ank was landing his own kicks as well. But Alex won the first round 10-9. Not much happened outside of the low kicks. Let's get into the scoring, because this is controversial. Alex won the first round 10-9. Everyone agrees. Round 2, Ank starts to find his range, starts catching Alex, tapping his own low kicks. Rocked him bad at the end of round 2. Ank won the round. You know, he almost had Pereira out of there in round 2. He hurt him bad. I don't want to say saved by the bell, but that is kind of what it seemed like. But yeah. Round 3, Pereira looks much better than he did in round 2. Still mainly low kicking. The teep up the middle for Ank was money, and I do think he edged round 3. I think after rocking Pereira, it built Ank's confidence. He started coming forward. Pereira really struggles going backwards. He does. He just does. Ank did a really good job of sending him backwards. You know, I've been saying this, Pereira moves straight back with his arms up, zombie arming. He really does. So when Ank's coming forward, you know, throwing combinations, it might not be the first 2 punches, but the last one will land because Pereira's backing straight up. So I think that's a weakness for Pereira, which we haven't seen exposed. But round 3, I will say Ankalaev won round 3. He did more damage in round 3. That is what it is, you know? Moving on to round 4, though. Ank won round 4. Grapple heavy approach. Didn't land much damage, which sucks. You know, I wish Ank would have landed more damage. If Ank was doing this but landing damage, there would be a lot less people talking right now. You know, it's just the fact that, like, you know, he won rounds 2 and 3 without having to grapple, which is impressive. And then when he does grapple, it's like, oh, this is all he's going to do. It's like, no, this is what he's doing to secure the fight for himself. He already won the first 2 rounds. He didn't have to grapple. Now he will, because he can. That's what it is. Yeah, he didn't do much damage in round 4. Landed a big shot on the break of the clinch both times, so he did win that round for himself pretty decisively. Round 5, close-ish round. Ank definitely made it close, but Pereira edged it in that 5th round for sure. Ank more just held him against the cage in that round, but the striking, Pereira edged the striking for sure. So yeah, Ank won the fight in my opinion. 48-47 Ankalaev. I don't understand how people can call that a robbery. He won the 3rd round. I think people really need to rewatch the fight. But I fucking said this would happen, dude. No one was saying Ank would outstrike Pereira. Like, I fucking called that shit. Good news, though. The sport isn't dead. All right? I don't know why that's the narrative. The sport's not dead. Ankalaev is a fun kickboxer. He's fun. I would much rather have Pereira as champ for sure. But definitely, the belt isn't going to be as active, which sucks. But the sport's not dead, dude. Ank is not a boring fighter. He's a fun kickboxer. He puts on fun fights. He's going to do what he has to do in a title fight, which is the biggest moment of his life, all right? He already outstruck him in rounds 2 and 3. Who outstrikes Pereira in rounds... Who outstrikes Pereira, period? He did it already. He doesn't have anything to prove. He's going to win the fight. In round 4, he's going to win the fight. That is what it is. You know? He's typically not a boring fighter, and this was not a boring fight. Pereira struggled with Ank a lot, and a lot of the fight being boring was Pereira not throwing strikes. Pereira was tapping low kicks. He was content with that. Content with tapping low kicks. He didn't take too many chances. He really didn't. And that's simple enough. Ank did what he had to do, and outside of round 4, it was a good fight. Genuinely. You can say what you want. Outside of round 4, it was a good fight. It was exciting. We'd never seen Pereira tested like this. It's not boring. I want to see the immediate rematch, though, and I think Pereira deserves it. It was a super fun card, lots of fun fights. Yeah, definitely an awesome card. Night to remember, dude, for sure. But yeah, I appreciate everyone watching for real. We went live on TikTok after Ank won, and it was good vibes. We had like 500 people join in like a few minutes. It was crazy. Because I've been calling this for so long. So yeah, it's just I don't know. It was a good night though. But yeah, I appreciate everyone watching. You know, thank you for all your support, and yeah, peace.